hello, Sarah. Hello, Sarah, Mum.
Hello, Sarah.
Yeah. Hello, Sarah. I've said that again. It's 11:30 now. I just got back from Ashford to cinema, seeing Ghostbusters. Instead of texting you what I think, I'm just going to tell you. It's easier. A lot of things. And anybody else listening, I suppose it's an added bonus as well, isn't it? You know? I don't know. Right, so Ghostbusters, the reboot, the thing everybody was pissed off about. Mum, do you know how annoyed everybody on the internet was when they first said they were going to read all-female cast? Because it was women, and also it was the most disliked trailer on YouTube ever. It had more dislikes than likes. Everybody hated it. Well, I've seen it tonight, and I'll tell you something. Straight from the off, it's a very good film. I went in with an open mind, and not anything about females or anything. It's just about a normal movie, and I really enjoyed it. I tell you, you know, and a couple of things surprised me, right? But I'm going to get through it first. First, the star of the show out of the four. So the cast was, you had Melissa McCarthy, you know the fat one, didn't you? She was in stuff. Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones. Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy have been in a lot of films. They're big stars now, so they were good anyway. But the star of the show was Kate McKinnon. She played such a weird role in it. Out of the four, it was, imagine the first Ghostbusters, because everybody's seen the first Ghostbusters, and it was kind of the same. But Melissa McCarthy was more of the Dan Aykroyd type of, she was seriously into it, and Kristen Wiig was like trying to be a more serious career. Leslie Jones played the Winston role very well, but I'll come back to her in a minute. But Kate McKinnon, the blonde girl, she played not an Egon type character, but it was more weird. And she was the star of the show. She made me laugh so many times throughout the whole... Yeah, she just had all the best lines. And there was a scene at the end as well where she got these, like, kind of the two, not the proton, like, guns they were. And she was going around shooting and the Ghostbusters music was playing. And I thought, fucking hell, this is just really, really good. The CGI and the special effects were brilliant as well. Because I know the old Ghostbusters, that was back in the 80s when it weren't as good. But the new one, it's just brilliant. It really was. There was loads of things. The story was this guy who wanted to open up these portals to another dimension. He was using these machines, letting these ghosts off. And in the end, the end fight, he let this portal open. So it's everything we had. We had, Slimer that was there in the original Ghostbusters was there. He had quite a big role in this one. You did have Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but he was more like this balloon thing with other balloons that they just popped. And rather than that, no Statue of Liberty, but there's a lot of nods to the original Ghostbusters. Like the building, when they first got together... So Melissa McCarthy was there, and she was like Dan Aykroyd type, and she was with Kate McKinnon, who was the star of the show, like we said, and Kristen Wiig trying to go serious, but then she got fired because they found a real ghost. Very, very similar to the library scene in the original Ghostbusters. There was this haunted house, and this female ghost appeared. The ghost was funny, but you kind of knew what was going to happen, but in a kind of nice way of like, oh, right, I know what's going to happen here. And she like sicked all this green gunge all over Kristen Wiig, and then the Ghostbusters theme started, and you know they had a dun 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 dun, and you thought, oh, it is a Ghostbusters film. You know, I've been waiting. I love Ghostbusters too, and I know a lot of people hated it, but I've been waiting for a long time, and especially to go to cinema and hear that theme and see it properly, because we did see the screening of Ghostbusters at the Sci-Fi weekend, didn't we? You know, when we were there. To see the new movie and to see everything, you know, like special effects. It was good, you know, and I was really, really pleased. Then the Leslie Jones character working at the train station, she come across a ghost and then went to the girls and then became part of the team because, you know, they hunted the ghost down. Chris Hemsworth was in it, you know, Thor. He was a receptionist and he played it so well. He had glasses and greased down hair, but... He was like a complete idiot. He said, my eyes, that was loud, and he grabbed his eyes, you know, that kind of thing. He's wearing spectacles. They said, you got no glass in there. He goes, no, I don't like the glass in there. It hurts my eyes, so I don't like poke it. But the funniest joke for me, well, I laughed at a lot, was that it was an interview with the three girls and interviewing Chris Hemsworth, because the Kristen Wiig character always fancied him, you know, oh, you got muscles, but he was a complete idiot anyway. And so he sit down, he said, all right if I bring my cat to work? And Mr. McCarthy's like, well, not really, because I'm allergic to cats. And he goes, what? I haven't got a cat. He said, but you said my cat. He goes, nah, it's my dog. He's called Mike Cat. This is the thing. I would say there was more jokes per minute than they were in the original Ghostbusters. It did feel like a comedy, like an action comedy, and most of them were very funny. And even the ones I saw in the trailer, like the one with Leslie Jones when she dived off the stage and no one caught her. In the trailer, you thought, "Oh, fucking hell, they're doing that." But when you're watching it, it paid off because you saw what happened beforehand, you know. And like I say, towards the end, it started building up, and there were callbacks to the Ghostbuster girls being told by the mayor, you know, we don't believe in you, we've got to keep it secret, like in the original one. But then when the portal opened, like I said, with a guy who he killed himself when he was opening it, and then managed to go into other people's bodies, and he went into Chris Hemsworth's body, and then for about 20-25 minutes at the end, like Hemsworth was the bad guy, which I kind of thought was going to be the thing, but then he was saved because his like kind of spirit came out of him. But that was quite funny because that's when he released all the monsters, and there was like a big 15-20 minute scene which you couldn't have done really back in the days of them fighting ghosts. And like I say, Stay Puft Monsters, Slimer was there, who took the car. The car was given to Leslie Jones. She was given a hearse and then said, "I've got a car, can I be a part of the team as well?" And they said, "Yeah." So they painted it up white. There was a graffiti artist at a train station was graffitiing, and he did like the Ghostbusters logo, and they took it off that and put it on the car. So it's exactly the same car and stuff. The costumes were a little bit different. But like I say, they were going to go to the original place where the Ghostbusters were, but they couldn't afford it, so they went on top of this like Thai restaurant, which was quite funny as well. There's a couple of little gags about that. But then towards the end, they had the Ghostbusters logo again showed up because the four girls finally confronted the main bad guy, and they said, "Oh, be something a little bit more friendly." He turned into Ghostbusters logo, and then turned into like this massive, giant, angry thing, you know, the Ghostbusters logo type, and that chased them through the city, destroying everything. But at that point, I thought, "Oh, there's a lot of destruction here, you know, what the fuck, you know, a lot of people dead." But when they kind of saved the day, closed the portal even. Then everything kind of went back into place afterwards, and nothing was really destroyed. So, you know, Ghostbusters saved the day. Like I say, the ending was really good. I mean, 2 hours long for a comedy, sometimes it can be too long, but I didn't have that many moments of thinking, "Oh, you know, this is too long." You had to have the story at the beginning of how they got together, and the Kate McKinnon type was very creating the weapons as well. You know, everything they were using through like the proton pack, she was the genius behind it, and you saw them playing with the weapons, you know. And I thought it was really, really, you know, the rating on IMDb I'm looking now is 5.3. I think that's a lot of people just being negative for negative sake. Like I say, I went in with open mind and saw it, and I really enjoyed it. You talk about cameos in it as well. Bill Murray showed up. He was the first cameo. He showed up as like they were talking about, "Are ghosts real?" And there was like a national debunker, and it was Bill Murray, and says, "I don't believe in ghosts." And we saw him on TV for like 20 seconds. He did look quite old, you know, the hat. We saw him for about 20 seconds. We thought, "Oh, that's it." But then he came when they caught their first ghost. He came into their building and said, "I now, you know, let me see the ghost." And they had a little argument, let the ghost through, and the ghost basically killed Bill Murray through out the window, which was quite funny as well, you know. Dan Aykroyd showed up towards the end when my audience, it wasn't, I would say it was about half full. There was a few laughs and a few, "Oh, no," you know, but I tried to, you know, lead him along, but it didn't really work. But yeah, Dan Aykroyd showed up. He was in a taxi cab when I think Kristen Wiig was trying to get in there, and Dan Aykroyd said, like, "Where you going?" "I'm not going to Chinatown, it ain't too far." And she said, "But there's ghosts all over the city, you know, portals open up." He goes, "I ain't afraid of no ghosts," you know, and then drove away. Yeah, that was a very nice moment. I thought the music was done well. They put the spin on it, and had like they've got a new updated Ghostbusters theme, which they used throughout. Heard it, you know, when they were fighting. It meant a little something as well, you know, because it's been so long for Ghostbusters. And then I thought, "Oh shit, that's it for cameos then, you only got the two people." And then towards the end, I said about the hearse as well, Leslie Jones borrowing it off her uncle. Her uncle showed up, and that was Winston from the original movies as well, which I thought was a really nice touch. And he said, "Well, what happened?" You go, "Oh, it's a long story." Yeah, Ernie Hudson showed up at the end. I nearly forgot about Annie Potts as well, you know, the one who played Janine in Ghostbusters. She was a hotel receptionist, and then she said, "Excuse me, you know, can I help you?" Which was very nice. Rick Moranis obviously wasn't in it. In the opening scene with Kristen Wiig talking to Charles Dance, who was in it as well, he was like the head of the unit, you know, and we saw them two talking, and then when she walked out the room, we saw the statue, like a statue figurehead of Harold Ramis as well, which I thought was quite a nice touch. That was in gold. And then right at the end, because the credits happened when it finished, and then they kind of had mid-credit scenes each way through, we saw Kate McKinnon's character in the place where they were working, like their workshop. Or this lab, or whatever you want to call it, and she said, "Oh, here's the person who taught me," and it was Sigourney Weaver, and she was there as well. She remained a bit, so she was there, and like their high five said, "Oh, I didn't really like that." Sarah, I think you really are going to enjoy it. Just go in there with an open mind and just go, okay, right, this is. Let me just watch the film as is. Don't compare the two until afterwards, because that's what I'd done. And even Dan, I went with Dan, and he said to me like, he really enjoyed it as well, and he laughed a lot as well. Chris Hemsworth made him laugh, and a lot of things everybody was laughing throughout. There wasn't, there was a couple of jokes that missed, but I think overall it done a really good job to try and bring it up to date. I know a lot of people hate it, and I know it's not made like a whole lot of money, but this is set up a new thing for Sony where they want to do Ghost Corps, which is their production team who do different movies, so they're going to do an all-male cast again, and they'll probably do like a kid version. But I think the women's version does deserve another sequel, and then they can go more their own route as well, so they don't have to try and please everybody, because the fanboys that maybe they're trying to please sometimes in the film with the cameos and stuff are the people against it anyway. So go for the new audience. Paul Feig did Bridesmaids, so you know how popular that was, and just carry on doing it. And the thing, even though it was an all-female cast, I didn't feel it was like humour I didn't get just because I was a bloke. It was funny. Even Melissa McCarthy, who usually in films is quite like the loud, brash one, was quite different. She was a clever one, and there's a couple of times where she lost her temper, but nothing major. They all played it well, and all the cast I think did a really good job. Chris Hemsworth did. I know they had to use him more because he was involved there, but I think overall they did a really good job. Who are you going to call and all the other Ghostbusters stuff is there. I think maybe the bad guy maybe could have been explained more, because I thought to myself, oh, right, okay, but he was only in it for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then once he killed himself, he became other people anyway. So, but I think overall, really good film, and I would suggest anybody go see it. It's a shame that Canterbury already doesn't show it, and it's only in small screens in Ashford already. I think they kind of preempted the disappointment they thought it was going to be, But it's still a very good film, and I've always wanted to see another Ghostbusters, and it's great to see one, and I look forward to seeing more in the future as well. That's it. Bye, Sarah.
There's something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. There's something